Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to the video. I'm Instigator92. If any of you have been following the channel, a couple months back I posted a video talking about how modern gaming is pretty boring. There's really nothing here for many reasons that I want to play and grind. But recently, I've had a chance to kind of test out a couple games that have been on my radar. Gears of War E-Day and War Dogs, for anyone that is familiar with that one. And if you're not familiar with War Dogs, it's basically a Battlefield meets Arma type of game. It's a milsim with some arcadey aspects to it. And I'll go over that a little bit more later on in the video. I kind of want to tackle Gears E-Day first and then get into War Dogs. But I've been pleasantly surprised with my experience with these couple of games as of late. In particular, Gears of War E-Day has been quite the breath of fresh air, especially after the release of Gears of War 5 back in, I think it was 2019. This game really goes back to like that Gears of War 3 feel, where it's not just shotgun only. You have the ability to use your Lancer or the Hammerburst on the map and actually contribute to a fight and kind of play more of a support role, rather than just everyone having to be a Nasher warrior. And for me, that's a lot of fun because I do enjoy playing that support role. I don't always like being up front and in the mix. It's something that I could do, but having the ability to play a couple different ways is so much more fun than just having a game that is focused on one style of play because of how it was built. Of which Gears of War 5 only catered to the Nasher style of gameplay for multiplayer. For anyone that isn't aware, it was basically just using the shotgun and Gears of War's unique movement while bouncing. Which can be fun. It's definitely a unique experience. No other game has this in it. But when you're only stuck playing one way, that really takes away from the fun of a game. Because now you're completely locked into essentially what the meta is. There are other games that have kind of their meta weapons or like what is technically the best option to use or how to play. But you still have that ability to play the way that you want. Gears 5 did not offer that. Gears of War E-Day is offering that. And something that I was afraid of when they showed off that they were going to have sliding and mantling like in Call of Duty, and changing the sprint to an upright sprint instead of having the roadie run where they're hunched over running cover to cover. I thought we were going to lose what made Gears of War feel like Gears of War. Now, having the sliding in there, it definitely is strange. I still feel like it doesn't quite belong. The upright run, while I'm not a fan of it, isn't breaking the game too much. And the game is offering a new feel to sniping, because sniping was very two-dimensional, so to speak. There was really no change in elevations outside of going up stairs or a ramp or clambering up to something. Your character ran pretty much on a flat surface, and it was really easy to just lead the shot, let them walk into it, and get a quick headshot. This game is going to take a little bit more skill for sniping, which I can appreciate. Not just anyone's going to be able to pick it up and use it. But the game still feels a lot like a Gears of War game. Right now we don't have the typical game modes. Execution, Warzone, Guardian, Gears of War's version of King of the Hill. That stuff does not exist in the beta. And it sounds like it's not going to exist in the game at launch. They're going to have more traditional game modes. Stuff that's being pulled from like Halo, because they're going to have a version of Neutral Assault and I think CTF, along with the version of King of the Hill from Halo Infinite, which is what they're calling Conquest, and Team Deathmatch. So I hope we get to see the traditional modes that Gears has always had since its conception, along with some fan favorite maps I think could work very well with this rendition, because the movement feels much slower pace like a traditional Gears game like 2 and 3, versus what we've gotten with 4 and 5, where things are a little bit faster. And especially 5 being the fastest out of all the games. So it's been a pleasant surprise. I've really been enjoying it. The Horde Siege mode is a lot of fun with the classes. I do think weapon damage can be buffed for the Horde Siege mode, outside of whatever perks that you add onto your weapons. But it is still a very unique take to Horde in some way. And I think it's better than the offerings from Gears of War 4 and 5. Especially having 2 other squads in there and having the invasion events and kind of running through the map, tackling objectives at will. It's fun, it's unique in the terms of a Gears of War game, and I could definitely see myself putting a lot of time into this one. Now, let's move on to War Dogs. Now, I finally had a chance to play this game. I was a part of the closed alpha test this past weekend. I only managed to get 4 hours in. I got pretty busy with other things, and I was really enjoying playing the Gears E-Day beta with some friends. But War Dogs is a game where its experience lies somewhere between, I would say, Battlefield 4 and an Arma type deal. It's not super hardcore, like one way or the other. It very much maintains the milsim aspect like an Arma game, while incorporating some of the fun, arcadey bits from games like Battlefield and more. For example, if you don't have a defib on you, or they have a mask on there that you can use to revive other players, you can rub your character's hands together for 15 to 20 seconds to quote-unquote generate static, and use that to revive players that are down on the floor. And they don't have to be within your squad. You can revive anyone at any time. You're never locked into a specific class. How you rank up the different... I'm not even going to call them classes, I'm going to call archetypes, kind of. To unlock the specific gadgets or weapons that are tied to that archetype. You need to kind of just play that style of gameplay. And by doing so, you will earn XP to level up, you'll get extra cash for playing that role by playing it properly, and not just running around like it's Team Deathmatch in Call of Duty. You cannot play like that in this game. You will die, and you will be punished for it. And when you die, if you're not able to be rezzed, it is quite a hike to get back to the battlefield. You have to hop on a vehicle, either one that you purchase from a vendor, to get back to the field, or you hop on with someone else that has a helicopter, or they've already purchased a vehicle, and then you get driven in towards the zone on the map. Now, if you're in the zone on the map, you're earning cash and XP. That way you can go to any of the vendors, buy whatever weapons and gear you need. If you want to buy vehicles, you can use that cash towards vehicles and buy the ammunition for those. Because what this game does, and this is where the armor aspect comes in, you can only carry so much ammo on you, and it's very limited. And it's really limited by the level of backpack and chest rig that you're able to acquire as you level up. On top of that, you can only carry so much weight, otherwise your character becomes encumbered. If you've ever played Arc Raiders or a game like Tarkov, where you get too much weight, basically you're just stuck walking, you can't sprint or anything. And you have to manage all of that. On top of that, if you're not playing the objectives and you're not earning cash, you'll be stuck with basically next to nothing. And when it comes to vehicles, you have to purchase the ammunition that your vehicles need, or the armaments, I should say. So if you're getting a tank, you have to buy the shells that you're going to need and that can actually fit in that tank. You're limited on your ammunition and your fuel. So when you start running out of your ammunition and you start running out of fuel, you will have to go back to a FOB if your team has set up a FOB, which is a forward operating base for those who may not know what that is. Or go all the way back to your main base, rearm, refuel, head back out to the field. And the more people your team has in the zone, the more money you acquire every time a victory point ticks for your team. Otherwise, you just get a base amount. I think you get 160 as of the last test. You get $160 for every tick when you're in it, even if your team doesn't control the zone. If your team does control the zone, you get $250 per tick. Now, if you get kills in the zone, you'll earn cash. If you get kills outside of the zone, you earn cash, but it's not as much because you're not technically playing the objective then. And I was playing Recon, and playing with the binoculars and marking targets earns Recon XP. It marks enemies for the entire team, not just your squad. And that's one way to level up the Recon gadgets and archetype. So if you use a sniper rifle, binoculars, whatever, if it's tied to Recon, you'll earn XP and level that up. If you want to just play the typical assault class, run around with an assault rifle, get kills inside the zone, that's going to be the quickest one to level up, but you will not unlock the weapons for the Recon class or the extra gadgets for that one. You get rewarded for basically playing as a team. So if you're playing as a medic, you'll earn the support, XP, and all that, and you'll unlock better tier gears for that. You'll earn more XP by playing that way. It's a lot of fun. You can really play however you want. You can just run around and attack enemy fobs that are just outside the zone. Enemies can have artillery tanks that they can set up anywhere on the map. You can go and take out their artillery, because vehicles are insanely expensive. So if people are buying the vehicles, they're going to have to start playing inside the zone to earn the cash they need to be able to buy something again. And depending on what they buy and how much, it might take them a couple games to kind of build that back up. So that's one thing that's really fun, is that vehicles cannot be spammed or used so readily or easily like they can in Battlefield games, where, Battlefield 6 barely has any vehicles, so it's more like Call of Battlefield than it is Battlefield, but that's a whole different topic. These are two games that I have genuinely played that are kind of getting me excited and motivated to really have something that I could sink my teeth into and put time into. I haven't had this feeling in quite a long time. Halo has been rather disappointing. Past Gears games have been disappointing. And it was just kind of me just playing older games that I've already been playing for years to kind of take up my time, because there is just nothing new. The industry doesn't have that passion. They don't have that quality bar. And they hire people based off of quotas with DEI and all this other stuff, so they're not even hiring the best possible talent. On top of that, the revolving doors that all these companies have. So you don't have people sticking around that are passionate for years and years to really help shape something like we had in the past. Modern gaming is still, I would say, rather boring, but these are, for me, a couple of titles that are sticking out and kind of breaking the mold, so to speak. While Gears are still being made by the Coalition, I think they have, so it seems at least, learned their lessons from 4 and 5 a bit. And then War Dogs feels a lot like a traditional developer. It feels like a frat house. There are guys that are there having fun. They're passionate. The VOD that they did recently, the 10 reasons why not to buy War Dogs, gives you 10 legitimate reasons why not to buy War Dogs for early access. I highly suggest going and giving it a watch. It is actually fun to watch these guys, as passionate as they are, talk about their game, why you should not buy it, because of how their focus for early access is actually going to be on improving the game and not just putting a game in early access and then slowly adding content. They're actually taking the time to fix the bugs, improve the game, and then when the game is ready to hit that 1.0 mark, then the content comes. So I think the developers at Bulkhead deserve a chance. Watch their videos on War Dogs. Watch the 10 reasons why not to buy. You can pre-order the game. Get access to the beta before early access comes out. This weekend is the beta, I believe, coming up. It'll be Friday through Sunday. You could try that and then just refund the game if you don't like it. It's a pre-order. The game comes out early access in September 10th. So less than a month from now. and you get to try it and refund it if you don't enjoy the experience. That's an opportunity you should take. But let me know what you guys think down below about everything we kind of talked about here today. Have you had a chance to play Gears of War E-Day? Are you one of the lucky few that had a chance to play War Dogs? Do you think you'll pre-order War Dogs, play the beta, and check it out? Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll be keeping an eye on the comments, reading everything you guys put in there, interacting with you, and just having a general good time talking about games. What other games are you guys actually looking forward to? Maybe there's something I'm not aware of. But I do appreciate you all sticking around to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. Click that notification bell if you want to see more content like this, or catch a live stream. I do stream 3 days a week in the evenings, Monday, Thursday, Friday. It's always a fun time. We're playing Star Wars The Old Republic. We'll be playing Gears of War when it comes out in October. I'll be playing War Dogs when it comes out in September. Maybe we'll get some Halo in after I'm done being disappointed with it and can finally work up a little bit of excitement. But yeah, appreciate you guys all stopping by, and I will catch you all on the next one.